given that it is Samhain right now and we have access to this energy, I do want to give further thanks and honor to my ancestors, to yours, to ours. I am Irish and Scottish, and it was a lot of fun and very special to honor my ancestry in that way. I will be bringing in my seer's orb or crystal ball for many more videos, and I'll be discussing more about my Romani Bohemian ancestry as well when I use that in some more videos. I really do feel connected to my ancestry and to my roots when I practice my craft with tools and items and minerals that I know have been around and available for a very, very long time and were used by those in my bloodline. There's a lot to acknowledge and honor there in what magical people have had to go through in history, the persecution. So as I practice and as I honor my ancestors, I do feel very, very blessed to be able to be here and to be sharing these very important, sacred beliefs and practices. They are accessible to everyone. Magic is accessible to everyone, and it really is special to be able to connect through your ancestry, but I know not everyone is able to do that for one reason or another. Welcome back. Tonight I am going to be filming a behind the scenes video for my Samhain Halloween videos. Tonight is Samhain. It is October 31st, 2020. We had a lovely full moon this morning, so we have some very nice natural energy to work with tonight. I don't have a lot of space in front of my altar for filming, so I had to get a little bit creative with angles and everything. Plus, working with the painted hands was not easy. So I wanted to make sure that I can show you some of the items closer up and in more detail and tell you a little bit about them and how I use them in my practice year-round. The first thing that I wanted to show you is my wig. I thought that that would be fun to share. It was originally much brighter colors. It had some green in it. It was longer and very curly, all one length. So for the first video, I didn't do any cutting on it. I used a colorant for natural hair to turn it that purple color. I wanted to show you. I didn't use this color. I actually used up all of my purple and most of my blue and red, making more purple. I also used a whole lot of the silver gray for the first video, getting the color all throughout that very brightly colored wig. But this is the brand that I used. It has a pretty nice smell. It also created that kind of like weathered, chunky look that I was going for. And this was what I used on my hands as well after I colored my wig. I noticed that it looked really cool on my hands, so I colored my hands with that as well. And it was kind of a last minute intuitive choice anyway. You know, when being creative, it's fun to just go with the flow and do what feels right and fun. I also dyed some feathers. I had some pastel feathers and I dyed those and worked them into the wig. Why did my light go out? My light went out. That was very strange. My lights went out. There's some paranormal activity going on, maybe. I was saying that I also weathered the feathers and dyed the feathers to add to the wig. For the second video, I washed out all of that color because I was planning on dyeing it black, and I attempted that. I followed some tutorial instructions on dyeing it black with acrylic paint, but that did not work so well. And I also cut it, which was fun, and added a lot of glitter with some very strong hairspray. So that is how I changed my wig. The next thing that I wanted to show you are my keys. These are in my intro for my channel and all of my videos. I showed them a little bit more in the first Samhain video than I did in the second. These I put together about a year ago. The components I've had for many years. Meaningful items. This key is from my mother's charm bracelet. It's red on one side, blue on the other. I made her for a root chakra ritual. She was 2 different pieces of jewelry that broke. Very old pieces of jewelry. Antiques. I really love this key. One of my favorite movies growing up that definitely gave me ASMR was Return to Oz, and this reminds me of the key that Dorothy finds in the chicken coop that Bellina pecks out in the yard. Outside the chicken coop. Keys. The next item I want to show you is the wand. I have 3 wands that I have made. I made 2 pretty much at the same time. This was one of them. I had 2 very special sticks from very special hikes in nature that I'd gone on as an adolescent that I'd kept. And this one reminded me of another one of my favorite movies that gave me ASMR growing up, and that was Willow. You remember the twisted wooden wand? So I added a key to it, some clear quartz. These are the rubies from the ring that I mentioned, the ring from my father. When I took the rubies out, it formed this very cool mouth shape. A little goddess figure. The rubies are in little gumnut pods. That a friend of mine, a very special friend of mine from Australia, sent to me. Wand. Next, I'd like to show you the sentry candle from the second video. It's actually my oubliette candle. Oubliette means place of forgetting in French. There is a dark history there. And I made this candle as part of a healing project that I did for myself from my childhood trauma. It's my oubliette candle. I decorated it with hot glue, and that is how I created the spider web effect in my videos. The strands of hot glue being the spider silk. So having made this candle, I believe it was this spring, I had the idea in mind to use the hot glue for the spider webs. I am a color witch as well as a bird witch. So I used every color that I had to make this candle, to bring in that special, hopeful rainbow effect. Century candle, oubliette candle. Next I have the Shungite stones. This is noble or elite Shungite, which is very pure, has a very high percentage of carbon. Larger pieces of this stone are rare and a bit costly. I was very fortunate and excited to get a small bag of these chips of the stone. Very special. Very beautiful. They have a nice sheen on them. Make sure you take some of that ancient grounding energy that is also so connected to the cosmos. Shungite. In the Witch's Protection video, I gave you two options for pendulums. I wanted to show you the option you didn't choose a little closer. It is in a bed of Shungite, as well as these small pieces of Prenite with Epidote. I might be pronouncing that wrong. I never hear them spoken out loud. I usually read them, but I believe it's Prenite with Epidote is how it's pronounced. It's a nice translucent green with the black. And the pendulum. It's a clear quartz with glass chakra beads. And she's named for the goddess Isis. Looks like she wants to spin for us. This is her energy clearing spin. She's doing her energy clearing spin for us. Tapping into that lingering full moon energy. Opening to release. Opening our energy centers to release all that does not serve. Thank you. Thank you. Pendulum. Pendulum. I wanted to show you closer this strange stone that Archimedes chose, which is also pranite with epidote. I love this piece. I think it's so cool. Alien almost. Archimedes chose this stone for his message because this is the healer's stone, healing for the healer, which made us think about that fact that we truly believe that we are each healers of our own energy, healers of self, and we act as conduits of healing for each other. Next, I'd like to show you my dragon. Has some webs remaining. Pull that off. And she holds the dragon's blood jar. Bottle, rather. I'd like to show you the bottle a little closer. The resin has a beautiful reddish color, which you can see a little in the brown bottle. The Dracania cinnavari tree is actually endangered, so this resin comes from a similar tree in the family. This bottle makes some very interesting sounds. I'm curious what you'll think. It makes my face make some very interesting expressions too. And the dragon is made of agate. Really beautiful piece. I love my dragon. Next, I would like to show you the elevated ground box, elevated grounding box, sacred ground. This was another trauma processing root chakra project. I used hot glue on. To honor our roots, blood ties, ancestry. My crystal cranium committee is very special to me, very important to me. I'll tell you more about them some other time. Might take a bit too long. They are hanging out here in this sacred elevated ground and grounding box. Another key. Next, I have a closer look at the Cauldron, which has this beautiful tree of life pattern design, very rooting, grounding, reaching energy. As I mentioned, I've had a spell brewing in this cauldron since winter solstice last year. There was some foresight that we would need a potent spell for 2020. And items have been added throughout the year as needed. Perhaps I will reveal more of the contents towards the end of the year. Cauldron. Cauldron. Finally, I have the Star of Witches Healing, Archimedes. Archimedes is the model skull that I got when I learned craniosacral therapy. That was about 17 years ago. Oh, he has been with me for quite some time. And the spirit within Archimedes is indeed a powerful spirit guide. Remove these so they don't fall out unexpectedly. There's some amethyst pieces. Archimedes likes to play dress up. He wore this in our Pride 2020 video. Very nice feathers. Inside, the cosmic brain is a little cosmic babe named CB, short for Cosmic Babe. She's been through it a little bit, it would appear. Cosmic Babe. Inside are some of the most special crystals I've ever experienced. Deeply mystical, mysterious, magical, so special. From the Brandenburg Mountain region. I believe all of them are. I could be wrong. I'll get them under the magnifier for us soon, because many of them are in hydro. They have little water bubbles inside. They are incredibly special. Gorgeous inclusions. Like crystal castles, cosmic crown energy, third eye openers. With smoky quartz and hematite inclusions. Also grounding, so they give us that root and crown energy from our videos. The witch's protection with the red being very root centric, the witch's healing with the blue, indigo, violet being a higher chakra. A lot of spiritual crown and brow energy in the second video. And these pieces really have been informing Archimedes and I in our healing work. Very powerful healing tools, helpers. Crystal castles. Like I said, I'll get these beauties a video of their own under the magnifier and show you their bubbles. And there's the little turtle-shaped gal that I had in another video as well, who's part of this set. Beautiful, beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spirit guide, skull advisor, Archimedes. Thank you for joining me in this behind the scenes look at our Halloween and Samhain videos. Thank you for watching them as well. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you've had a very blessed Samhain, a happy Halloween, and I hope you have a good night. Spirit guide, skull advisor. Now there's noise in the bathroom. The word witch for me means magical person.